a little fresh gel coat, and suddenly the boat is smoother than a captain's pickup lines. Hello, I'm Tim Kraus, the owner of Annapolis Gelcoat and Restoration. Today, I wanted to highlight for you 4 different types of gel coat repair. So come inside, let's take a look. Okay, I have some really fun things to show you today. Gel coat repair. 4 different gel coat repairs we're gonna highlight. So, first one we're gonna have here is the gouge, the gel coat gouge. Now the gouge is interesting because it can show something but mean something different. The gouge will show a surface blemish in the gel coat, but once we get into the job, it can really be something a lot more serious, a lot more sinister, if you will. The gouge in our gel coat repair modeling can actually get into the actual fiberglass. And if it gets into the fiberglass, the repair itself becomes a little bit more involved. We won't know that until we actually start the repair. Our process to repair it is to grind it all out and to start to investigate what is underneath of the visible gouge. Here's one other thing I want to show you on this gouge. Here, it may be a little difficult to see that there are cracks that radiate out from the center of the gouge to the top and to the bottom. So a product that we use to show us the extent of the repair is graphite powder. Graphite powder gets into all of these little cracks and crevices so that we can see exactly the extent of the repair that is needed. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What we'll do, we'll take a little graphite powder. Here's the pad which the powder comes on, and we'll just take just a very little bit and we will rub it on the crack. And after doing that, you can see where the gouge is actually a lot bigger than what it looked originally. So it also helps you and I to know the extent of the repair that is needed. Okay? If the gouge goes all the way through the fiberglass and it gets into the core of the boat could get wet and then cause more serious damage to the boat. So, in summary, if you have a gouge, which again looks like this, on your boat, it is something that may look fairly simple to repair. We will not know how bad it is until we start the repair. Next on our list is chips. Gosh, chips happen to every boat. Everybody gets chips in their boat. You drop a can of beer or a can of soda, you drop a flashlight, you drop a screwdriver, and all of a sudden you go, ah, you got a chip in your boat. They're not sinister, they're just a pain in the butt. And frankly, to call out a professional to fix just one chip in your boat doesn't make any sense in the world. Please, I want your business, but don't call me for just one chip on your boat, because it just financially doesn't make sense for me to send a technician out to your boat to fix one chip, or for you to pay all the labor that is needed to fix just one chip. So here's a couple examples. Chips will usually happen on the edge of or a corner of a boat because they're most prone to get knocked. They're most prone, if you're gonna drop something, you're gonna drop something on the corner. Sometimes a chip will happen in the center, but not as often as on the edge. So it's kind of self-explanatory. A chip is a chip. It's a chip out of the gel coat. The repair process for that is fairly benign. We grind it out. We put a little filler in there to seal up the chip. We do our matching of our gel coat and then proceed with the actual gel coat repair. The biggest thing to remember with chips is they happen to every boat. Don't be worried about it. But when you get several chips in a boat, that's when you call a professional to get all of the chips repaired at the same time. Third on our list is the spider crack. The spider crack is something that we get more calls about than anything because everybody thinks they have a spider crack and it just sounds cool. I have a spider crack. What a spider crack actually is is usually it is from the result of an impact damage on the boat. An impact damage can be from, running into a piling too hard, a docking mistake, storm damage if you hit or impact something that's hard. You have an impact damage, which is in the center of your spider crack, and radiating out from the center of that impact are all these little gouges that kind of form a spider web. Why are spider cracks real important to fix? It's because of how the spider crack happened. Spider cracks typically happen because of an impact. If you have impact damage and you see gel coat gouges such as this, there's a really good chance that the problem is beneath these gel coat gouges and actually into the fiberglass. Similar to the gouge that we talked about over here, but the spider crack, you're gonna have a higher degree of possibility of it being a structural damage into the actual fiberglass of your boat. So it's very important that we investigate this to determine if the fiberglass is broken beneath these cracks or not. If it is broken, we go about the same process as we always do with fixing the glass first, then doing the re-gel coat. But the biggest thing to know, and your biggest takeaway with this, if you have a spider crack, you want to jump on this pretty quickly because it could be the indicator of something larger going on underneath of what you're seeing. The last gel coat repair I want to highlight today is the dock rash. Now, it's kind of hard to simulate a dock rash. So honestly, what I did is I took a Sharpie and I just drew on this piece. Sorry. What I'm trying to represent here is an event that happened on top of the gel coat that is a surface only related damage, meaning that it is the least sinister of all of these and can typically, well, almost always, be removed with some compound, maybe even some acetone or other chemicals that we can remove that surface blemish off of the gel coat. There's nothing wrong with the boat. You have no problems underneath of the gel coat, no problems with the fiberglass. Typically speaking, dock rashes are just surface related blemishes that can easily be removed. More of a cosmetic concern. So these are 4 different gel coat repairs that we deal with on an everyday basis. And they, as you now know, they range in severity and they range in how quickly you need to tend to them. And if you have any questions on these at all, be sure to give us a call at our office, which is 410-263-8980, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks all.